Section 36 of Uncle Josh's Punkin Center Stories by Cal Stewart. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Philip Martin. Yosemite Jim, or A Tale of the Great White Death. Yosemite Jim was the name he had, and he came from no one knowed where. Quiet, easy-going sort of a cuss, and was reckoned on the square. Riding a route for the Wells Fargo folks may have made him stern and grim, but there wasn't a man that crossed the divide but'd swear by Yosemite Jim. He warn't one of the regular sort what you'd meet there any day, but as near as the camp could figure it out, in a showdown he'd likely stay. A shambling, awkward figure, raw-boned, tall and slim, and his chaps and his togs in general just looked like they'd fell on him. I was somewhat of a tenderfoot then, hadn't just got the lay of the land. There was a good many things in them there parts as I couldn't quite understand. But I took a liking to Yosemite Jim, was with him on my very first trick, and from that time on I stuck to him like a kitten on a good warm brick. Our headquarters then was the Valley Camp. It was down by the Redwood way, with Chaparral across the spur, about 50 miles away. Well, what I'm going to tell you, pard, happened there where the trail runs into the sky, and if it hadn't have been for Yosemite Jim, well, I'd be counting my chips on high. The galoot that was punching the broncos for me was a greaser from down Monterey, and Jim used to say, "Keep your eye on him, pard. I don't think he's come for to stay. His eyes are too shifty and yeller, and his face is sullen and hard. And 'tain't that so much as a feeling I have. Anyhow, keep your eye on him, pard." One day when the mercury was way out of sight, and the frost was on every nail, with just the mail sack and the specie box, the greaser and I hit the trail. We picked 2 passengers up at Big Pine, and while the broncos were changed that day, I noticed them having a sneaking chat with the greaser from down Monterey. Did you ever hear tell of the Great White Death that creeps down the mountainside, leaving behind it a ghastly track where those who met it have died? Well, partner, as true as I'm a living, no man wants to see it twice. White and grim as a funeral shroud, a mass of mist and ice. Well, we hadn't got far from the Big Pine relay when my hair it commenced to rise, for I saw across by the Lone Bear Spur a cloud of most monstrous size. And the greaser acted sort of peculiar, and the broncos commenced to neigh. Well, some thoughts went through my mind just then I won't forget till my dying day. In less time than it takes to tell it, we were into the Great White Death, with its millions of frozen snowflakes a-taking away our breath. And just then something happened, pard. The greaser from down Monterey tried to sneak off with the specie box, along with the passengers from Big Pine Relay. All at once a figure on horseback come a-whooping it down the trail, and bullets from out of a Winchester commenced to fly like hail. The greaser and them 2 passengers cashed in their chips to him, for the feller what was doing the shooting was my friend Yosemite Jim. Well, we planted them there together when the cloud had passed away, and all they've got for a tombstone is the mountains, dull and gray. So, pard, let's take one together, and I'll drink a toast to him, for though he was rough and ready, he'd a heart, Yosemite Jim. The Great White Death, so named by the Indians, occurs in the higher altitudes of the Rocky and Sierra Nevada mountains. It is almost indescribable. It might properly be termed a frozen fog. It has the effect of bringing on acute congestion of the lungs, from which few rarely recover. Viewed at a distance, it is a magnificent sight, each and every particle of the frozen moisture being a miniature prism, which reflects the sun's rays in a manner once seen, never to be forgotten. By Cal Stewart, formerly Overland Messenger for the Wells Fargo Express Company. End of Yosemite Jim, or A Tale of the Great White Death.